Welcome to Taiwan Live TV. I'm your favorite host of the show, the only host, MJ Klein. I want to say hi to everyone. Welcome to Taiwan, one of the most fantastic places in the world. I'm at Mr. Wu's here, and we're hanging out. There's nobody here. If I turn the camera over this way, you see like the other tables. There's nobody over there. There's nobody like there. Mr. Wu is behind me. Say hi. Excuse me, and that's about it. I'm just hanging out here. It's good. It's a little bit later than normal. It's 23:46, which means it's 14 minutes before midnight here in Taiwan, which would make that just before noon Eastern Daylight Time in the United States. So I want to say hi, and we had a great time this past Thursday. Of course, I got some of Mr. Wu's chicken nuggets here. I'm eating them with the pepper salt, white pepper, and cayenne pepper, and I got a little bit of this salad dressing we have here. In Asia, mayonnaise and salad dressing is sold in little bags. Hey, howdy ho, how you doing? Thanks, Rob. It's sold in these little tubes, you know, and often mayonnaise in the store is not even refrigerated. Matthew, fist bump to you. Good evening to you. So this is what we have, and you can cut, the tip off, and you can make kind of like a little artistic, thing in it. And a lot of Taiwanese dishes are like that. This actually comes from Japan. This style. This is called. It's actually salad dressing. It says that in Chinese. It's salad dressing, but it's actually a little bit sweet. It's kind of a sweet mayonnaise. But I got something else. I was looking around and I found these little chips. They're not potato chips. Part of this is in Japanese. I'm trying to. It's okay. I can read what the flavor is, but a lot of it is in Japanese. I think this is corn chips. But what it says in Chinese, it says "guo wei," which means this. These two words together are what we would say hot pot in English, but it actually means fire pot in Chinese. But hot pot, where you have, the boiling liquid and you cook the meat and the vegetable stuff, and that means flavor. So we'll try these in a while though. The hot pot flavor. So now we had a couple earthquakes tonight. One right after the other. One was at 10:11, and one was at 10:14 p.m. 22:11, 22:14. Now, we're sitting over there. Some guys. Andreas, fist bump to you. Good evening. Andreas actually lives near the epicenter. The big one tonight was 5.9. 5.9. It's pretty big. The first one here in Hsinchu and Hukou, I didn't feel it. I was sitting right there, I didn't feel it. But I felt the second one. Now I have the graphic. Let me see which one is which here. I think this is the first one. Hang on. I think this is the first one. I don't want to edit this. I want to take it. I think this is the first one. Let's see. I'm just going to blow this up. Yeah, this is the first one. Yeah. We know you know something, Andreas? When you get 5.9, 6.1, it's all really close. I mean, obviously the energy level goes up, but I think you're probably just as frightened by 5.9 as a 6 point something. But the news reports that I have read said it was a 5.9 at the epicenter. But the thing is it shows, and see where that star is? That funny thing is, Andreas lives in Taiwan. And funny thing is Andreas lives very close to that red star. Hey Dean, how you doing? Fist bump to you. All right, fist bump. Andreas actually lives pretty close to us. So it's funny, Andreas. It's very funny that you're here tonight because you're very close to that star. Now, where I am is about here. Let me see. Okay. I'm about here. That's about where I live. Right about there. Maybe, let me just put a dot. I'm going to say I live right about here. Yeah, right about that area there. See if you can see what I'm making those dots there. Yeah, right about there. Little town called Hukou. And it's right on the, you know, the border with the next county, which has actually become a city now. The county is a city. And so you can see where I live, it was a 2. One of my friends who lives not too far from me, still in the next town, Jubei, said that he felt 2, and I didn't feel 2. I didn't know what he meant because I did not feel 2. But anyway, so the next one that came along was this guy, and it came along 3 minutes later, and as you can see, in that same little area, you see the red dot? Yep, that's probably Andreas's farm right there. You know, so even though it's a 5.9, that always refers to the underground depth, and these things are, you know, always deep in the earth, right? So at the surface, the magnitude is going to seem less. But I'm going to tell you, a 4 is scary. 3 is pretty scary. And so here we go. I'm going to do the same thing. This is kind of about where I live, like right in that area, right in there. Put these dots right in there. That's about where I live. Jan, how are you? Give you a fist bump. You can't see me do it. Jan, we have been missing you in the last few live streams. And I sent you a Twitter message today. I realized I wasn't following you on Twitter. I'm sorry. But yeah. So glad to have you here. And you can see, so is everyone else. Gallardo, how are you? All right. Oops, sorry. Wow. Almost into the broadcast. Meant to do this. All right. So what I want to do is I actually want to just take the graphics out. Take both these graphics out. There you go. So just bumped everybody who just came in. Gallardo, it's been a while. How you been, man? It's all right. Good to see you guys. Now he has, Mr. Wu here, has these chicken nuggets, and they're really nice. I mean, yeah. And I dip them in a little bit of the white pepper. Thank you. And the cayenne pepper and the Japanese style mayonnaise that we have here. Weekend was good. Saw a really amazing movie that I want to talk about. This is the Japanese style mayonnaise that we have here. But now I saw a movie, and I need to gather some more information about it. It's actually distributed by Warner Brothers Taiwan, but I was not able to find too much English information about it. I saw a movie yesterday called Listen Before You Sing. Listen Before You Sing. It is a wonderful movie. It embodies everything that I love about Taiwan. It is. Well, that's because I put my makeup on, right? My rouge. You know, why not just do lipstick. But thank you for pointing that out, because I thought I thought I deleted it. As you can tell, I don't look very carefully at my own picture because I'm looking at the camera. It's like... But anyway, there was a girl group that like 20 some years ago in Taiwan called She, S.H.E. No, it's okay, man. It's okay. You guys. Do you remember when I had a Samsung Galaxy S4 that had a black dot? 1 pixel was bad on the front camera, and it was like it was in some conspicuous place, and every broadcast someone would say clean your camera, and I would be going like this, and it wouldn't help. So yeah, the red mark and how it didn't move because it was like it's supposed to be on my face or something, it would move, but it didn't. Anyway, so this group SHE had a one of the women is named Ella Chen, and when she got, a little older, this is a girl group, she's like 20-something years old. She got a little older, she went into acting, and everybody initially was like, okay, this is just some girl group, musician, what can she do? Well, she showed everybody what she could do. Turns out she's actually a very fine actor. She's got a really strong career. She's amazingly popular in Taiwan, especially in the dramas. And they cast her in this movie, and she was fantastic. She played a substitute music teacher. But basically what it revolves around, and this is why I love it. America, there are a lot of discussions about diversity. Don't get me started about diversity, because the diversity that they're trying to implement in America is the diversity that the kind of diversity that you don't want. It's not based on character, it's not based on ethics, it's just based simply on how people look on the outside, and that has nothing to do with their capability. But in Taiwan, the diversity is just, it's staggering. There are, last count, there were 13 indigenous tribes that have been listed, by the government, recognized. But I've heard that there are as many as 22, because when the Japanese came here in 1895, they encountered a lot of resistance, and back then some of the Aboriginal tribes were headhunters, and they decimated the Japanese that came in. Of course, eventually the Japanese overwhelmed them, but that's not how you make friends. They were never able to completely subjugate many of these tribes. And the interesting thing is, many of you will find this interesting. Not long after that, under the Japanese rule up until 1945, Japan allowed Christian proselytes to come into Taiwan. So the interesting thing is that after 1945, the end of World War II, the Japanese were given some time to withdraw from Taiwan, and then it was handed over to the Chinese nationalists. So the vast majority of people now who live on Taiwan are of Han Chinese descent, but almost all of the Aboriginals are Christian. It's really interesting. Now, I'm not going to differentiate, between the denominations. I'm just anybody you call, no matter what it is, anybody that calls himself Christian, I'm just going to put it to one group. But it's amazing because in this movie, it's about an Aboriginal tribe, and they're trying to keep their small school in business, and the government wants to shut the school down because birth rates are low. This is true. This is a big problem in Taiwan. For the first time last year, the birth rate actually declined. I mean, bad. And so Taiwan is one of the lowest birth rates in the world, and the birth rate declined below the point of sustenance. So where if it stays where it is, the population is going to disappear. So this is a real thing. A lot of communities are facing this. They're going to consolidate these schools, and these are Aboriginal people, and they, the kids walk to school. They don't have cars. These are farmers, and sometimes the kids have to work after school. Then it shows them they got to go home. They got to box fruit. They got to pack fruit. During the season. It's an amazing, amazing film. Listen before you sing. And in order to keep the school open, they organized a singing competition because they thought that if they could get national recognition, and it's all about that. And it's about the coach, and it's about the substitute music teacher who's played by Ella Chen. And there's no romantic thing going on with it, but there's some deep emotional stuff. I gotta tell you, this movie really touched me, and I found myself going like this a couple times because Taiwanese people, I admire Taiwanese people, and it doesn't matter if they're Aboriginal or they were originally from China and their parents came here and they were born here. Taiwanese people are not afraid to show their emotions, and they're just like everybody else, normal people. They just want the best for their families. They want a secure job, stable income. They want good education. They want their parents, their children to be happy. They want their parents to be taken care of in their old age. And just so TT, how you doing? Good to see you. All right, thanks for joining. And so this was an absolute wonderful movie, and it was shot in the mountains in an actual village with an actual Aboriginal tribe. And you can see that the people look a little bit different than Han Chinese, but they're still, they're Asian, but it's very, very interesting. And, Taiwan is way more diverse than anybody would ever imagine. Most of the diversity, however, is among the, hey Bud, Uncle Bud, fist bump, the Asian and, what do they call it, the Australo-Asian, from Australia, and even there is even some Polynesian DNA here. There are some connections that I have read between Taiwan and Hawaii, and it turns out that in East Asia, Taiwan was apparently populated by human beings before virtually any other place in East Asia. Quite amazing. So that movie, I can't recommend that movie high enough. It's honest, it's clean, there isn't a single, swear word in it. The acting is superb. It's real. The characters draw you in, and it doesn't matter what your background is. And it was funny because sometimes they're speaking in this Aboriginal language, and they have it translated in English and Chinese. The movie that I saw had Chinese translation and English translation. It was mostly in Mandarin, but in the parts of the movie where they're switching to the Aboriginal language, the audience is doing the same thing I'm doing, reading the subtitles in their language, so it's great. So the movie is Listen, excuse me, I hate when it happens. Listen before you sing. Hey Brian, Saskatchewan. Yeah, that's a mouthful. Fist bump to you, Brian. Oh, right, man. That is a cool place. I love Canada, and I love remote places. I knew a guy from Whitehorse, and I used to talk to him on ham radio. He's fantastic. He actually ended up in Bogota, Colombia, working on a project. But ex-military, and boy, his fist, as we call it, on Morse code, was like music. All right, got a couple things to share with you. My friend, Mr. Patrick Gia Mayu from France, he's in the UK. One of his daughters got married. It's so cool. And he was walking around. He had to have COVID tests and stuff after he was released, and got their results. He's walking around by a marketplace, and he sent me this, and I just want to show you. Excuse me, I'm sorry. It's the pepper. I just want to show you this. This is so funny. This is what this restaurant said. It said no need to social distance from me. Your food. I just thought that was funny. I thought you guys would want to see that. You know, sometimes when things are bad, I know, it is. Sometimes humor is the only thing that holds you together. Sometimes humor is the only thing that keeps you from losing it. All right. Now, this week, in the late night group, you guys remember, on Thursday, we're talking about mushrooms, and Matthew very kindly shared these photographs that he had been they'd taken while he was harvesting mushrooms. So Bernardo, and everybody knows Bernardo. Bernardo sent these. Look at this. He's got a bag of these. And those, and you know what? Those are those same mushrooms. Moray, they're called? Question mark, Moray. I'm not sure if I even know what these are. But then Bernardo showed us this cool knife he's got. It's a folding knife, and some other mushrooms. They're not Moray. They don't look like the same ones. But yeah, those are some mushrooms that he had picked. And lastly, oh, morel. Thank you. Oh, that makes sense. Thank you. Now look at those. I'm going to tell you, Matthew. Morel, okay. You know, I don't want to detract from the picture that you sent, because this picture is just as incredible, okay? Well, it wasn't that I was thinking, I know what you're saying. It wasn't that I was thinking of the eel. It's that I was thinking about how it was spelled, and I guess I forgot. Well, look at these. Yeah, as a true mushroomer, Matthew failed to reveal the location of his finds. That is the comment of the evening. That's right. Because you got to protect those, right? Just like, you know, if you're walking your pet pig, and your pet pig finds a truffle, you don't tell anybody. But you go to the sporting goods store and you buy the most capable headlamp that you can buy. No, I bet they do. Yeah, no, I know the eel. That's a good question, and I wasn't, you know, insulted or put off by that, because I know what you mean. But I was trying to remember what he wrote, and I was thinking that that's what it sounded like, you know, and I don't know how to pronounce it. So anyway, I don't know. That kind of stuff doesn't bother me. Now, I've been debating. Well, there is a Dr. Moray. It's almost spelled the same. From Russia, who did experiments with deriving energy from the ether too. So there's that guy. I've been debating, because I'm in Taiwan. I'm away from the States, but Now I watch YouTube videos and I see what's going on, especially with universities, and it's just, you know, I gotta move this a little bit. This is a little bit too far. There you go. Now I read that the University of Ohio has this new initiative that they're going to hire a bunch of professors, you know, strictly for diversity. They've already decided how many. And so basically what they're saying is they're going to be anything except white males. I have been debating whether I should have this conversation or not. Now you guys know me and you know what I think and how I feel. You know that, and all of you who are my followers agree with the following statement. There are no races of human. It's the human race. And that's it. There's a lot of diversity within the human race. But any person, you know, can intermarry and produce offspring. And that's kind of the universal definition, you know, of a species, okay? We're the same species. So when I hear, you know, talks about racism and stuff, it's just, you know, it gives me a headache. And what bothers me now is I'm old enough that I'm seeing the second generation of mistakes being made. I've been debating about, excuse me, I'm burping, having this conversation because I might get me banned from YouTube in, you know, the current climate. But the other thing is I'm an easy target, okay? I'm white. I'm over 60 by a good margin. I eat meat. I'm Christian. I'm straight. So, you know, I think what that means is I think I should just go like this. I think I should just go like this and just paint a freaking, you know, target, you know, on me. That's what I think I should do. I think, you know, whatever. Put the little thing in the center. I mean, seriously, it's like I'm an easy target because of that. All right, I'm going to do it. I'm going to give you the short version. This is my talk on diversity. And then when we're done, I promise you, we're going to try these things. We're going to try the hot pot flavor, the hot pot flavor chips. Because, here's the thing. Okay, I need you guys to do something for me. I need you to react very quickly. I need you to prepare to give me a yes or no answer. Just give me a Y or an N. Just give me a Y or an N. I'm going to ask a bunch of questions, okay? Here's what I want to know. Okay, if you have a company or you are a, let's just use a company. It's a pretty good, you know, indicator. If you're a company, okay, does a person's experience matter? Yes or no? Does a person's experience matter? And while you're typing that, I'm going to ask the next one. Okay, if you're hiring somebody for a company, does a person's ethics matter? Does a person's ethics matter? Okay, so you're looking to hire somebody. Okay, does a person's character matter? Okay, so what was the first one? Experience? Okay, yeah, I think I say experience. Yeah. So experience, okay, and then so does ethics and character. So does the character matter? Okay, so does a person's capability matter? What they're capable of doing? Does their capability matter? If you're trying to hire somebody for a job, and you know, university is a job, so does their capability matter? Okay. And the last one of these, and I'm going on to another set, is does their intelligence matter? And, okay, we can say does their education matter, but to me that doesn't matter as much. But yeah, does their, okay, I'm getting a lot of Y's. So their intelligence matters, their capability, their ethics, their character, experience, capability, education. Okay, does their color matter? Does it matter what color they are? Does that matter? Does it matter what color that they are? Does it matter where they were born? If they are in the United States legally and have the legal right to work? Does it matter where they come from? Does it matter what color they are? Okay, we got our first N. Okay, does it matter what their, let's say, just say, you know, if they're from another place, does it matter what their first language is? It must be blue. It's funny. If as long as they speak English, you know, if you're in an English environment, or you were in like, you know, could be Spanish environment or whatever, but whatever environment that you're in, you know, as long as they can speak English enough, does it matter if their first language is something else? Okay. Does it matter what their religious beliefs are, as long as it doesn't interfere with their work? Like, you know, they can talk about their religion at the water cooler. You know, they could share a scripture with somebody, or they could share, you know, scripture from the Bible or from the Quran or whatever, as long as they're friendly and the person is open to it. Does their religious viewpoint matter? Okay, so here's what we have established. We have established that the hiring practices of, the only way I can describe this is the left. And, you know, I'm not political. They're completely backwards. Because I'm going to explain something to you. And those of you who say that you believe in diversity need to listen to this. There are areas in life that diversity is bad. Let me tell you what one of them is. Character. You don't want people in your company that are good character sitting next to people who are of bad character. You understand? You want good character. You don't want diversity of intelligence. You don't want a bunch of dumb people in your office sitting next to the smart people. Diversity of intelligence is bad. Diversity of ethics is bad, because what happens is these people start posting on social media, they work in your company, and all of a sudden people think, well, your company supports this, and they can destroy you. So you don't want somebody who would steal from the company or who would be dishonest. You don't want ethnicity in honesty. You don't want diversity. You don't want diversity in honesty. You don't want diversity in character. You don't want diversity in intelligence. You don't want diversity in capability. You want all those things to be to the maximum that you can get. Diversity comes with whoever you hire. But if you base your hiring decisions on anything else other than those things for which diversity is bad, correct, you will suffer the consequences, and it will be bad. I gotta tell you, when I was a kid, like, you know, high school and after, one of my favorite shows was the Jeffersons. You guys remember that? Moving on up, the Jeffersons. Sherman Hemsley. That guy, he was a genius who played George Jefferson. Remember him? Wheezy! It's like, I could binge watch them for hours. There was an episode where he tried to get into an exclusive club. I think it was a golf club. It's some kind of club. I don't know. Could have been, I don't know. Who knows? And they wouldn't let him in because he was the wrong color. Then they finally decided to let him in. Now, what happened was one of the guys working there came up to him. He was a black gentleman, gardener or something, landscaper or something, you know. And he said to George Jefferson in the show, I'll never forget, he said, you know, the only reason you're in here is they're having some kind of a review. They got to prove that they're not prejudiced. The only reason you're in here is because you're black. It was an incredible show. And of course, George Jefferson didn't believe it. Now here's the hook. I never forgot this. He said, no, I'm not joking. Token. Does anybody know what I'm talking about? Ladies and gentlemen, it's happening again in the 21st century. Humankind is so ridiculously stupid, we keep repeating the same mistakes. When I was young, there was an expression, token Negro. That referred to the black person that you admitted to your club or you made friends with, or whatever the situation was, to prove that you weren't racist. See, today we call that virtue signaling. But it's happening again. Universities are hiring token people just to prove that they believe in diversity. This is a bad thing to do. This is wrong, because it demeans people. These folks that are getting hired because they're not white are not getting hired because they're qualified for the job. How would you feel if you knew that the only reason that you got this job was for some kind of quota? Personally, I wouldn't feel very good about that. I guess I can say the only thing about being an old, white, straight, Christian, meat-eating man in the 21st century is that I probably don't have to worry about that. But my goodness, see you in a minute, Rob. I can't see how I offended anybody by telling the truth. But seriously, why in the world would you hire anyone who wasn't qualified? And why would anybody criticize a company for hiring people that were qualified regardless of their race and regardless of the ethnic distribution? Because we're not supposed to pay attention to that stuff, are we? It's illegal, isn't it? It's wrong, isn't it? It's immoral, isn't it? So I was taught. So my dad came from World War II. He came from the era when there was a lot of racism and prejudice. But my father was not raised that way. His parents raised him to be different. And I was raised to be different. So when I was in school, they used the N-word on me. They said I was an N-word lover. Because I didn't really see the difference between people. I was friends with people who are of high character and high morality, high capability, high intelligence. I didn't care what their outsides looked like. I only cared what their insides were. So that, I guess, is my editorial for tonight. So I got one last question. It's a wire in. Did I offend you? Well, I think I lost all my viewers. All right. Now, time for this. Expiry date is 2021-12/17. So, well, I just think that people need to stop concentrating on what's not important, which is, you know, what people look like on the outside, and whether you meet a certain criteria of, I mean, these universities, they act like they're setting up a biosphere. Like these people have to be able to reproduce and not have, you know, regressive genes because they're too close, like, you know, cousins and brothers and sisters or something. You're not setting up an ecosystem like that. You know, you're setting up a university, and I would think that you would want the best person for the job, and that it should be regardless, not because of, but regardless of their ethnicity. But anyway, here we go. So, by the way, it shows that I have 0 viewers on YouTube. Really amazing. Excuse me, it's not recording very well. So let's open this up. So anyway, I didn't get any N's, but I didn't get any Y's. The last question was, did I offend anybody? But just that I was taught not to use those measures, those gauges of a person's value, a person's worth. You know, I was taught not to stereotype people too. And I will point out one thing. You guys understand that where I live, I'm a minority, and I'm subject to racism almost on a daily basis. Okay, thank you. So you missed my question. My question was I hope, did I offend anybody? But I'm, you know, almost on a daily basis, I'm subjected to some kind of racism or some kind of differentiation where people just will come out and just flat, plain, you know, call me a foreigner or something. Now, these are very interesting. Let's go into this. This is the hot pot flavor chips. Now these are, wow. Now, first of all, there's no heavy MSG flavor, or, you know, Wei Dao aroma. No heavy pepper. But there's something in there. I don't know what it is, but it's a hot pot flavor. Now, let me show you these things look like. These are very wavy. These are like, look at this. They got like ridges on them, but they're kind of wavy. So it looks almost like, it looks like a combination of the old Fritos corn chips and like Ruffles. So I'm going to try this guy. And let me just take a little palate cleanser here first. All right. Wow, broke. Oh my goodness. What's amazing? That has, see this kind of meat? These are thin slices, and there's hot pepper in here. And this is like kind of a red sauce. Oh, and there's what is that? That's like, sorry, that's like star anise. There's a kind of hot pot that they have here that's a very Taiwan beef flavor, and I don't see, this is mountain style flavor, but I don't see the word for beef, but I definitely see the word for like spicy, but it's a spicy, wow, you're not going to hear me say this too often, but I can't describe this. This is great. It's one of the better chips I've had. It's a spicy, aromatic. Oh, I got the anise. Yeah, the star anise here. I got it just now, and definitely hot peppers. But man, that must be hard to kind of force into a chip. And the pot itself also has tofu. See? Up here is tofu, right? Which a lot of them do. And the tofu may be actually fermented and a little bit stinky. I'm going to say, now, out of all the chips that I've tried, yeah, I mean, I'm going to tell you, I don't really like it that much, but it kind of doesn't matter because it's just so interesting, you know? I mean, this hot pot flavor, I don't order. I usually order the Japanese kind, or I'll order like a Korean style, you know? That's what I usually get. I'm going to put some of this mayonnaise on it. But it is really, really interesting. That's one thing I like about living in Taiwan. See, I don't know how it is now in the States, but when I lived in the States, there wasn't that much diversity in potato chips. And so I came to Taiwan, I was pleasantly surprised. It does, doesn't it? And they're all wavy and see this? Cool. Very interesting. Now you guys have all seen David Osaka, and you've seen him with these crazy chips and flavors and stuff. They have way more flavors. And I mean, Taiwan is very conservative compared to Japan in that regard. They have way more of these interesting flavors than Taiwan does. That's what they look like. Real wavy looking. See? This would make a good thumbnail for the, you know, for the Twitter Live. But yeah, I'm digging this stuff. All right, so now, for those of you who are still with us and who are in the Line group, I do too. Everybody does. They're very popular. You know, Dave could have his own, like, real TV network, you know, tasting show. Dave is like, you know, the Andrew Zimmern, you know, of YouTube. All right. Ken, fist bump. How you doing, man? Okay. Oh, it's great to have you here, man. How are things going, by the way? Hope everything's all right, you and your family. Now, here's what we're going to do now. For those of you who were in the late night group, and you have some photos to share, you can send them to me now. When the notification shade goes down, I swap to the Line app, I download your photo, and I can show it instantly within a few seconds. But before I go too far into that, what I want to do is I want to show you our email address for the show, latenight@taiwanlive.tv, latenight@taiwanlive.tv. Yeah, I know what you mean about the Kit Kats. I know they got flavors in Japan that's everybody else is just jealous about. It's amazing. But Cliff, how you doing? All right, good to see you, Cliff. All right. Well, I didn't know about that. Well, that's not good. Okay. Well, I'm glad to hear she's doing okay, but my goodness. Well, give her our regards, will you please? I appreciate that. If you would do that. I know I speak for everybody in the late night group. Cliff, how you doing? All right. Cliff hasn't been around for a while, and neither has Jan. Now Jan came in earlier, but I think she had to go because I haven't seen any more comments from her. All right. Back surgery. That's terrible. I never had back surgery because, you know, I had a lot of back problems. I blew a L5-S1 disc, and my ortho recommended that I not have the surgery, and I think he was right. But if you have to do it, it's really something. Wow. Jan, you're still with us. Great, thank you. It's funny, but my counter shows I got nobody watching on YouTube. It's amazing. I don't know what happened, but anyway, I gave my big, you know, diatribe, and I thought that it was maybe I scared everybody away. All right, now for those of you in the late night group, send me a photo. Go ahead, and I trust you. Of course, I can see it first, but send me a photo, and we're gonna post it right now. And you get to tell us the backstory. Whoa. Good old basil. Basil and onion. Good. Excellent. I swear it's funny. It says 1 on Twitter Live and 0 on YouTube. But tonight we're drinking more of the Tondenia. Great Philippine rum. Having a good time with that. All right, Mr. Woos. And it is like 12:38. He's probably going to close about 1. But he'll let me know. Let me know when it's time to go. Okay, so Dean, and we're going to download it here. Oh, this is funny. Okay. First photo that we got from Dean. And it is this one. It is the Wi-Fi patio provided by the Watertown Public Library. Free Wi-Fi available outside at the library. So there you go. The power of Prism. Thank you. Excuse me. Thank you for sending that, Dean. That was interesting. You know, the thing is I was talking with in our streaming tech group with Jake, who's the lead developer for the Prism live stream. You see the down here in the corner, you'll see the watermark occasionally. About how I feel that Prism should be integrated with Line. So those who would like to, for example, watch from a Line group can just stay in the Line app, watch the video, and comment from the Line app, and that they would be captured here in Prism. But these are big companies, and they suffer from the same problems that all big companies do. Is that sometimes these departments are so just far away from each other. So apparently the group that's developing Prism is very far away from the group that develops the Line app, even though they're owned by the same company, Neighbor. Pretty amazing. Okay, so Dean sent us the first picture. So who is going to send us the second picture? TT, what about you? Got any more pictures of the volcano? I think Ken may have to take off, but we still got Rob and Matthew and several others. Of course, Dean can send something again too. Now, for Jan and Cliff, I know you guys aren't in. You're getting there. Okay, good. Jan and Cliff are not in the Line group, but you guys can join the Line group as long as you have the Line app installed. Just send me an email, okay? Late night at TaiwanLive.tv, and I will send you a link to join the group. We'd love to have you there. Nice group of people. And these days, it's hard to find a nice group of people, you know? Boy, occasionally these powders, you know, thank you, like powdered pepper, you know, and the powdered cayenne. Wow. Sometimes it breathe it in. Excuse me. Wow. Okay. ET's looking. Whoa. Now, one of the other things that Patrick showed me that I thought was interesting, I'll share with you guys. He's in the UK right now, and he said that this is kayak water polo. Tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to kill the widget for a second. Okay, now that cleared the chat. Of course, the next one will come in, but that is kayak water polo in the UK. Boy, sorry, I keep coughing because this pepper got in my bronchial tubes, I guess. Cool. Yeah, but I mean, you know, land polo is hard enough, but man, oh man. Okay. Well, that's good, but that makes sense. I got 0 from the app. Okay, so T's going to send us a water-related photo. That's cool. Ready for that. All right. Take a quick break.
Hi everybody, you're watching Late Night with MJ Klein on Taiwan Live TV.
Hi, this is Dave in Osaka, live from Greenland, and you're watching Taiwan Live TV with MJ Klein.
Thank you guys for doing those. And you can use the email address if you'd like to do a quick bumper, you know, that'd be fantastic. You know, thanks for watching Taiwan Live TV or Late Night or whatever you want to say, you know. Be sure to promote yourself, you know, say who you are, okay? Actually, you know, I have a lot more bumpers. Rob made a bumper for me years ago. Ken's made like 2 before that. has some others. Famous ones by Coco, and they're all on the PC version. So what I need to do is I just need to, I've been lazy, I just need to upload them and put them in the studio of the mobile version here, so I got them here too. The train conductor one that Coco did is quite remarkable. She shot at home in North Carolina in front of a green screen, and I combined it with video that I had shot in Taiwan at the Hsinchu high-speed rail station on the platform, and it looks like she's walking on the platform. It's really, really cool. Okay, so we're waiting for TT to, and that's otherwise Hoodoo's T on Periscope and Twitter. But we're waiting for this water photo. Excuse me, and I can't wait to see what it is. Now, in the meantime, I told you, right, that I had, where is it? Started a new website called Behringer.world. This thing is taking off. It's blowing up. Okay, thank you. Excellent. It's blowing up. So many people have joined, and it's being widely supported and widely used. And it's such an honor for me, to be able to host this site and make a platform, for people to use. And I didn't think it would be utilized so quickly to the extent that it is. But Behringer.world is a set of unofficial forums for people who use Behringer equipment. And Behringer is a company that makes musical instruments and things like mixing consoles, and like the digital mixing console that I use, you've seen many times in my studio, is a Behringer X32. And so Behringer's own forums are not very user-friendly. It's difficult to find and search and find, previous posts and so forth. And a lot of the users were expressing frustration, and I saw this. And I just happened to be in a position where it's easy for me to make a website. I have a hosting account. I can make as many websites as I want. I pay a small, really small, flat fee per month. And so, on I guess it was Wednesday? Yeah, it was Wednesday. I read yet another frustrating message on the main Behringer site. I immediately registered this domain, and 7 hours later I had a website set up with a SSL certificate. So anyway, it's an interesting forum, and if you don't understand everything about audio and music, you may find that website interesting. But Behringer.world, and .world is a new kind of domain, and it's been around for a while, but not too many people are using that. As soon as I saw that, I was like, wow, I gotta do that. So there it is. And you can always find me and my studio at these two places on Instagram, Phoenix Media Forge and Taiwan Live TV. All right. So we're going to wait for a moment for TT. I like that, TT. She's exporting a photo to her desktop for the Line app, and then she's going to upload it. I'll post it in the Line group. I'm going to see a notification come down. I'm going to press it. It is, oh my goodness, Coco just sent, oh, Coco, morning, making breakfast while watching Coco Sam. So Coco, you know, right, that I'm going to go ahead and I'm posting all these. This is funny. Busy. Now these are going to be in portrait mode. That's okay. Whoops. Sorry about that. Hang on. It does look good. All right. So Coco just sent these. So here we go. So we're just going to blow these up. And this is an omelet with hash browns. And I don't know what's exactly in that omelet, but I see some like dark spots that look like it could be, I don't know if it's black olives, but the red spots kind of look like pepper. Just, you know what, I don't care. Okay, if Coco made it, yeah, I'm gonna eat it. It looks good. Whatever Coco makes, just dish it out. Look at this. This is like, okay, the power of Prism. I almost said Periscope. Look at this. Oh, this. Oh, okay. Oh my goodness. Look at this. This is, and I'm gonna have to get a message from Coco to tell me what those dark pieces are. Is that there's a piece right over here. Let me see. Like right here. Is it right here? She says, hang on a second. There's a little bit of a delay. Mushrooms. Okay. Oh, she sent it. Oh, you're killing me here. Oh. It is what it is. So, I'm going to add this one other thing here. Give me a second. Onions, peppers, cheese, mushroom. Okay. Fantastic. Now, here's what we're going to do. We're going to do this one. Look at this. Oh man, look at the colors. Gosh, that is so cool. Look at the colors in that. Would you guys eat that? I would date that. I think I showed these backwards. I know. Now these, see. Now this is how you do it. See, good chefs know that you can't put all those ingredients in the pan on top of the egg and expect them to cook. You got to pre-cook them. So that's what that is. She is pre-cooking those ingredients. So when they're folded into the omelet, oh my goodness. Oh. Okay. There you go. Look at that. Doesn't it? Nice. Thank you so much. Now, we another photo just came in. Oh boy. Look at this one. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to use the Prism Live Studio and I'm going to import the latest photo from Hoodoo's TT And she's saying, you would never believe this. Okay, so maybe you should finish that story here where we can see it in the stream. Okay, so this is an underwater shot. Coco, welcome. Thank you for joining us here on the live stream. Let me do this. Let me clear the chat widget just for a second, because I want people to be able to see this. Okay, that's obviously someone scuba diving. So what is that? What is that? You know what though? In the desert of West Texas, I can do this. Hang on. I can do this and shorten this thing. Really? At a cold spring. You know what though? That reminds me of when I was a kid in Florida. There's a place called Crystal Springs. Oh, that is so cool. I love stuff like that. Of course, if you were thinking, right, scuba diving in Texas, Balmorea State Park, okay, cool. If you were thinking, Texas, right, you're thinking scuba diving, you'd naturally think it was in the Gulf of Mexico. The second photo. I didn't see the second photo. Could you just post any other kind of a message, even just like a number or a letter, just so it gives me a notification and I can go to the group? Take a look. There's the second photo. I see it. Oh my goodness. Okay, I didn't see that. Okay. All right, listen, it's not your fault, but next time let me know. Let me know. There's another photo coming. Okay, this is great. Look at this. Oh, this is fantastic. You guys don't know how much I love this stuff. I mean, this is what makes live streaming just so incredible. Now, this is another shot in the cold spring. This is fresh water in the middle of the desert near Fort Davis. This is just, oh my goodness. Look at that. Giant fish, giant turtles. Oh, not giant fish. They're fish and giant turtles. Really? It's all fresh water. Got any gators there? I think they're getting ready to close up because it's it's 1 o'clock. Oh, it makes perfect sense. When I was younger, living in Florida, one of the things that we used to worry about when we were in places like that was that a gator might come up behind us, when we're not looking, and grab us by the foot. And the problem with gators is they don't let go. And so I tell people, wherever the gator grabs, he's going to end up keeping. So you got to get used to that. We got to go. It's 1 o'clock. It's time to sign off. Thanks so much. It's been a great show. A lot of fun. Thank you for putting up with me and my diatribe about diversity, because diversity in the biosphere is good. Diversity for the sake of diversity is bad. You don't want diversity of character or intelligence or ethics or anything except just what it is. Thank you so much. Good chatting with you too. Thank you, Jan. And Coco joined us last. Thank you. And Kenrod and TT, Jan and Cliff, Matthew, Brian, and there was somebody else. Of course, Rob was with us tonight, and somebody else. And I just, anyway, fist bump. Okay. Love all you guys. See you next time. Thanks so much. This is fantastic. Had a great time. Thank you. Good night. 再见.晚安 from Taiwan.